Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wispin here, and today we are actually going to be going ahead and expanding our automated Pokeball farm. So the way that it's been working right now is black apricorns and yellow apricorns both have a single furnace, and so does the cobblestone that gets turned into buttons later on. And same with the iron discs and the ultra ball discs. They each have only one of these mechanical anvils working for them. So what I actually want to do is try to figure out a system to where we can have multiple furnaces and multiple mechanical anvils for each of these categories so that it doubles, triples, quadruples in speed, because for every one furnace we add to each of these rows, that'll double the speed again. So we just add one, we double it, then we need to add, I guess, two more to technically double it. But either way, it'll get a whole lot faster pretty quick. Now it's been running for probably two days now, 2.5 days, 3 days. I don't know exactly the time frame, but this is all it's smelted. And yeah, that is a lot, but that's over the course of 48 to 72 hours. So it's really not that much if you take that into account. I have no idea where these dusk balls came from. Oh wait, yes I do. I got achievements. Why is that? There we go. Okay, I completed 30% of the Pokedex, and so I got some rewards, so that's pretty cool. And then over here we have our black apricorns, which also quite a few smelted, but definitely not enough considering we need twice as many of these than we do the yellow. So what I think we're gonna do is probably double all of the different outputs, so double the furnaces for each section, and then for the black apricorns, we're actually gonna go ahead and quadruple it just so that we're getting the right amount of output in comparison to the yellow. Since when we go to craft, we need 2 stacks of black and 1 stack of yellow. So see, when we go to craft these ultra ball lids, which actually I need to first turn down this a bit, but we have in creative mode again. I really need to stop forgetting to switch back to survival before I start recording, but that is fine. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full stacks plus 44 of the ultra ball lids. But if we take a look in our yellow apricorns, we still have almost 9 stacks of yellow apricorns and 0 black apricorns. So clearly that needs to be sorted out. We're going to toss these guys into here, and it's going to take a pretty long time for them to actually get all worked out in the mechanical anvil just because there's so many of them. We're also going to have to add... Oh, did I put them in the wrong spot? Iron base? Oh, no, I don't. I put these in the wrong spot. We're also going to have to add more iron discs into here so that we can actually craft the ultra balls because we are completely fresh out of those. All right, so I actually have a few stacks of iron here, and I want to see just how many of these iron discs we get. Okay, that's not too bad, but we have way more of the... Oh, that's the wrong place. We have way more of the lids, which means we can't really craft the ultra balls anyways, even if we do get higher production. We need to kind of figure out a way to farm more iron, which I don't think is really possible in Pixelmon, just because you can't make like an iron golem farm or anything like that because there's no NPCs, Minecraft villagers. So I don't think we're gonna have much luck in that regard. We're just gonna have to find out another way to get more iron. All right, so here's the plan in my inventory. I don't actually know how minecarts, and we need to go ahead and put a hopper. No, wait, what do we need in this thing? Do we need a chest? I believe we need a chest in this. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I don't know. I think that's how it works, right? Oh, geez, this is going to be very, very difficult to try and figure out. We also need some blocks to go ahead and build this on top of, so we're not just doing it on the ground and like digging up the terrain. So let me go ahead and grab. Let's see if we still have any of that wool left over. That'll be good. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just kind of build a test to see if we can move items from one spot to another, and then maybe even take some out with hoppers along the way and just see how it kind of works. So we got to start up a little bit higher. We'll put this here. Actually, I need to make this. So do you put the chest underneath where the minecart's going to go? So like this, and then do you need a detector rail or do you need a regular rail? I don't know these things. You can't place a detector on top of this, so clearly that is not right. All right, so I'm pretty sure you need a hopper above, like that. How are we gonna do this? So we don't want it to point downwards. We want it to point, or we don't want it to point sideways. We want to point straight down. So we need that, and then we're gonna need to go ahead and probably, give me that back. Probably put the minecart here. So that way, if we put something in here, it'll automatically go down into the chest. Now I just need to figure out how to make sure that the minecart starts moving once it has some items in it. Okay, so this is kind of getting a little bit complicated. Not really too bad. I don't really know what I'm doing at all. I think I do. So the way that this is going to work, I went back to the hopper idea. The minecart idea, because I don't think the other system is really that much easier, and this looks a whole lot cooler. So we put this here, and the way that it works is when we're going to have to put a button here. Maybe. I think. Let me go ahead and grab a button. We should be able to grab one out of this chest down here. And we'll test this out, even though it's just going to launch our minecart off the edge. So the way that it'll work is basically when the button is pressed, the minecart will start moving, and then it'll go back and forth and keep going back and forth, filling up the chests or the furnaces until it hits the point where it's empty. Because once it's empty, this detector rail /fly, this detector rail will see that it's empty, and it will make sure to power that. So you place the furnaces along like this, and this should allow us to go ahead and do, as many as we really want. Let's do 8, just for testing's sake. We need our hoppers all the way along here, of course, just like that. And then we need regular rails across here, which glad I did 8 because I don't have any more rails. And then after that, I believe we need to go ahead and do a powered rail all the way at the end here. Okay, so it's pretty simple. You can see you press this button, it'll start moving. There we go. For a second there, I was a little bit worried. And then once it gets to the end, after it distributes all its items, it'll bounce back because there's a powered rail here. And then if it detects that there's no item in the chest by using this detector rail, it will actually stop. Now, the way that it actually works is it detects if there is an item, and if there is an item, it'll send a signal out and around, and it'll power this rail, which will send it back down the track. So let's go ahead and test this thing out with... Hello, there's somebody here. Let's go ahead and test this thing out with... we need yellow apricorns. We'll do a couple stacks just to see if it works. And then we're also going to need to have a way of distributing coal between all of these, but I think we can do that with just hoppers, since we're not really trying to distribute everything at the same time. So the way that it works if you just use hoppers is that it will fill the entire first chest first, or the entire first furnace first, and then it'll move on to filling the others. So you get a weird system where you have 7 furnaces sitting empty unless the first one is completely full. So it doesn't really work all that well. You'll eventually get them filled up if you supply it with enough items, but I don't know. I didn't really like that system. I like where it kind of puts 1 in each furnace and goes back and forth filling them up. So that way you get kind of an even spread. So let's go ahead and test this. Boom. So you can see when it went over the detector, it lit up this trail. And we can see it's about 2 per run, but it's fine that it's going slow because it'll smelt at a slower rate than it's getting filled up anyways. So it's perfectly fine. And you can see it just keeps bouncing back and forth, and it'll keep doing so until this minecart with chest is completely empty. So we'll watch it here for a second and make sure that it actually works. Now, the problem with this system, it is very, very complicated, very expensive to go ahead and build, and it takes up a lot of space. But I think what we're actually going to do is just kind of go with it. This is kind of the stuff that I am interested in setting up right now. Not really complicated at all, but it should stop. And it did. Okay, cool. And so now we have an even spread of 18 apricorns in every single one of these furnaces, meaning we will smelt 8 times faster than this system over here. And then, of course, all you got to do is go ahead and put another line of hoppers here, and that will move all of the items out of the furnaces back into the chest down at the end here and make it all nice and neat and organized because everything's going to be in the same place. So now all we got to do is figure out how do we get coal distributed between all of the furnaces. So really, this should technically work. It's not really the best solution, and it would be better to kind of have another minecart distributing the coal, but it was just taking up way too much space to try and add a whole second system. So basically, it just pulls the coal out of this chest, and it sends it down the line, and it'll be pulled out by these hoppers that put it into the furnaces. This does mean that this furnace needs to be entirely full of coal for this one to get any, and this one needs to be full for this one to get any, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, we can just pile in like stacks on stacks of coal into this chest, which we already have a ton of over here. Let me actually just steal all this And we'll start tossing it in. And I'll show you what I mean by... I mean, it's pretty easy to understand, but... there we go. And you'll see it's all going to be funneling through this one. And it's all going to this guy here until this is full. Which does kind of suck. I don't think it's the best solution, and we could probably figure out something else. But once this one gets full, which we'll help it along here. We'll help it along here. There we go. Then it will start... Oh, maybe not. Hello? Oh. Oh, it's going to fill up the entire... Okay. Yeah. So it's going to fill up that entire hopper before it moves along, which is not great. Okay. Huh. I don't know the best solution for this, honestly. Okay, so this is basically the best I could do at the time. I could definitely make it a whole lot more compact if I put a little bit more time into it, but being in survival and not really knowing what I'm doing right now because I have not done anything with redstone in a very long time, basically the way this works is I have a second trap chest. I wanted them to be side by side. That's why there's this big row of hoppers here. I don't know if there's a better way to do it. But I was kind of having trouble figuring out where to put this, so I just kind of tossed it there with a little turn in the road. That was the best way to do it. And that'll just be the same thing as the first system we set up, except this one will distribute the coal. So I have no idea if this is going to work properly. Let's go ahead and put the coal into here. And we're actually going to have to, now that I think about it, link up a redstone signal from here up to this button. And I want to do that with probably need to do this. We have a repeater. We'll put that here. We'll put a redstone signal going here, and that will make sure that nothing links up wrong, except for the fact that this needs to be the other way. And I don't know if redstone signal is going to be dropped down like that. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. So that'll actually start both of these guys from going around, and then that'll fill up with coal, and it should continue picking up coal as well when it sits here for a second. Ooh, did that not work? Was it empty? No, it's not empty. They both stopped. This one's empty, so it has an excuse. But the other one did not. It was not empty, yet it stopped, which is kind of concerning. Is this facing the right way? Everything's good. So I wonder if they're not. Okay, let's maybe it's the turn. We're just gonna watch this guy back here. What exactly is going on with you? Okay. Ooh. So does the turn slow him down too much to where he's not able to he's not able to get to the end by the time the signal goes out? What if we just put a delay on it? I don't know. We probably should have just stuck with this, if I'm being honest. I would definitely recommend just sticking with this unless you want to mess around with redstone. All right, so here's the final moment of truth. We'll see if that just happened because it was out of place. But so each of these can hold up to 5 stacks in the hopper itself. So we aren't going to run out of space for storing things in those. So let's just go ahead and try this one more time. Okay, that's triggering both. This guy kind of feels like he needs like a powered rail here, because he seems like after he goes around the turn. But I don't know if we can even do that. Although going slow isn't necessarily bad as long as he gets triggered here and goes back. Yep, okay. I think it'll be fine. He does go a little bit slower than I'd like, but I think that'll just make him distribute more coal per run, because he'll have more time over each hopper. And he should be pretty full of coal still. This one up here is pretty full still. Oh, did I touch? Nope. Okay, we're good. So yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay, and then everything's getting smelted down and getting put into this chest here. So this guy seems to be struggling a little bit. It doesn't seem like with the turn here he can keep up the speed to actually make it back to the powered redstone in time, even with a 4-tick delay. So I think we maybe need to add in a powered redstone rail like this one somewhere along the track. Now I don't exactly know where to do that. Maybe we could put it here. I don't know if there's going to be any issues with having a powered rail on top of a hopper. I don't know how that exactly interacts with things, but And my internet crashed. Okay, that's fun. That's a fun time. Cool. Fantastic. And so the thing is, a lot of these have very low amounts, but it's still smelting pretty quickly. So we can put black apricorns and yellow apricorns both in the system. And once it runs out of the yellow to fill up, it'll start filling up the black apricorns, which I guess that's pretty good. And all we have to do is just tap that button if we ever see it stopped. So we'll fill it up. We'll press that button, and it should technically keep going until this chest is entirely empty. And at that point, if we really technically wanted to, we could add hoppers back here into this chest with a second chest up above, all that kind of stuff. So if we do want to expand how much we can put in at once and have it keep running the whole time, we can do that. And this guy back here seems to be empty. Yep, okay, cool. So it looks like we are all good to go. Everything seems to be working. We are going to have to make a bigger chest here. Which we can do that just by replacing that with a slab. So let me actually, do we have quartz? I don't think we do. Do we have any quartz? Because that'll look better than, oh, we do. That'll look better than like a wood slab. So let's go and grab some quartz here, and then let's get, probably a regular chest that I use there, I assume. Let's get a regular chest and double that up. And now I feel like this is a much better system. So the reason that we're putting a chest here and a slab here is because we need this redstone above. But if we do it this way, like this, then like this, it'll still power the rail and we can still open the chest. And then the only other things I can really think of to do would be to like move this button so that it's like down here. But that's not really going to be possible. It might be actually. It might be. I kind of want it down here. We're going to have to fill these chests anyways, so no point in really moving it. All right. This looks good. I think I'm done for today. I don't really know exactly what we're going to do. We could probably get rid of this entire system, although we need to figure out something for these two. So probably going to have to build a second one of these for the mechanical anvil part of it, which is going to be even more complicated because you have to feed the fuel into the side. You have to feed the discs into the side of the mechanical anvils. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Let's go ahead and head on over to the shop real quick and buy up a bunch of apricorns just so that we have our entire system completely filled up and running and working at maximum efficiency. We already have like 8-9 stacks worth of ultra balls that we can craft if we just make some more iron bases. So really, we don't need more, but I want to make more just because why not? Might as well. So I want to buy a couple hundred at a time just so that we don't crash like we did in the last episode or 2 episodes ago, whenever that was. So we'll just buy like that many of those, and we're going to need a whole lot more of the black apricorns. There we go. I know we're wasting a ton of money here, but I gotta test the system, you know? All right, and how many is that? All right, we're almost out of space, so let's head back on here and toss all of these into here and toss all of these into here and just have them all mixed up and see if it can still pull off running the system. Now for the coal, I believe we do have some more coal down here, maybe in these. So we can actually just steal all this. Actually, I kind of want to leave it in those on the end. Just because we're still using those at this moment. I'll probably build a second one of these off video, off camera, because I don't think you guys are really interested in seeing me go through that a whole second time. But now that we got it figured out, I can probably improve the system and all that good stuff. So once this goes, let's go and click this real quick. So that'll just trigger that minecart without messing up this one. So yeah, we should be pretty good. We could technically put like a powered rail here as well. I think I'm going to do that just so that it... Actually, I don't think I want it to move faster, because that'll probably make it so that it only puts 1 apricorn instead of 2 into each of the furnaces. But you can see it is running pretty good here. We got a couple with yellow, a couple with black, so it shouldn't really clog up the system too much. And we are getting a decent amount of output. So actually, one last thing I want to do before I call it quits is... I know this isn't really Pixelmon, but I like doing this kind of stuff occasionally, so we're gonna try and figure this out. So, as you can see, this chest is emptying. Hello? Well, apparently, oh, it doesn't, it's because I opened it. It's a trap chest. But this chest is empty, and when I don't open it, you'll see coal is processing through, filling up this. But the problem is, when we first initially put it in, it didn't have enough to keep running. And so what happened is it stopped to fill back up. But because we have to actually trigger it ourselves, it'll never start running again until we press the button. So what I think we're going to do is go ahead and build a little bit of a redstone clock so that every, I don't know if we can do like 60 seconds, every couple of minutes, something like that. It'll automatically trigger the system into starting to run. Just in case the carts get stuck or there's some sort of an issue while they're running, it'll go ahead and send them out again. All right, so I finally did get it all sorted out. You needed to just add in a little bit of redstone here to make it a pulse. Basically, every time this runs out, so we'll see in 4, 3, 2, there we go. And you see how it sent out a little bit of a pulse of redstone from this torch. That'll happen every single time, so it'll happen again once it runs out on this side. And it'll send out a pulse, which will power the redstone. And it is all powered. I'll show you here in a second if we can get good timing on it. So it's not powered right now, but you'll hear it go off. And it just kind of did a little flicker there. That was it getting the redstone signal, but it doesn't stay powered long enough to actually activate the minecart's movement, which I don't really know how to fix at this time. I'm sure I could fix it. I'm sure being on a server doesn't help too much, but I'm just going to leave it unplugged for now, and we probably don't really need it anyways. I just wanted to do it just because why not? But this is a pretty cool redstone clock that you guys can use if you want something that has a pretty long duration. You can add in like stacks of blocks in order to make it take a very long time, and then it'll only send out a signal after all of these blocks move across. So you see it's kind of adding them over here. So once these all run out, it'll send another signal, and you can make it go as fast as you want, although I don't recommend this because if you're caught with one of these things set to like 1 block speed, let's see here, put 1 block in. It's not so bad. But if you're caught with a bunch of these, you're probably going to get told to remove them, or maybe we'll just blow up your base. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't seem to really be working, so just going to leave the old system for now. With that being said, we are pretty much done with redstone. I'm not going to bore you guys with any more of this in future episodes. Unless you guys are interested, leave a like on the video if you guys do like this redstone stuff. Maybe we'll try to do something a little bit cooler in the future. I'm just trying to get back into the basics because I totally have forgotten everything. I used to make all kinds of machines and stuff in Minecraft with redstone, but that was many, many years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And there's really only so much you can do with Pixelmon since a lot of the mobs are turned off and a lot of that different stuff just doesn't really have any use in Pixelmon. So yeah, we're done. We're done with redstone for now. We're going to go ahead and store all this stuff in our chest, and we'll maybe figure out something a little bit later on that we can do with more redstone. I am actually out of space. Like completely out of space in this junk chest. So we're gonna have to figure something out for that as well. So I just want to say, if you made it through this entire video, thank you guys so much. It might be a little bit of a shorter one, it might be a little bit of a longer one. I kind of lost track of time. I have no idea how much I've actually recorded and how much I'm going to put into the actual video. But we did expand our farm, our Pokeball factory, and it actually is 8 times more efficient and technically 2 times more efficient. Technically, not really. But we'll pretend. Because I don't have the mechanical anvil set up yet, it's not really working at full efficiency. But I'll get it there off video, and we should have a pretty nice farm going here, and maybe I'll start selling some of these Ultra Balls. If you guys do want to start buying them, I don't know. It's like maybe 100 to 120 coins per Ultra Ball, which is almost 3 times cheaper than the shop. So pretty good deals over here at the Wispin Pokeball Factory store. Or just set up one of these for yourself. But with that being said, all of the Pokemon from the last Pixelmon contest that we did, the texture contest, those should be added into the server tonight. So you should see your Technic mod pack be updated. All of the links will be updated, including those in-game. So last time around, I did not update this guy at spawn to have the correct link, but this time around I will actually update him so that he does give you the correct link. It's going to be bit.ly/Pokecentral pack v3 should be the one. Might not be working when you first see this video, but it should be done by tonight, and I'll make sure to go ahead and add all of those new textures. Now, if you guys do want to take part in the current contest, we're actually doing an autumn-themed skin contest over on the Discord right now. Go ahead and submit your images over there, your textures over there if you do want to take part. And it's the exact same process as the last one. All the rules are listed over there in a pinned message on that channel, so just go ahead and check that out. and you should be able to enter. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to go and leave a like on it. I'm not going to do any more of these redstone videos for a while. We're going to get back into Pixelmon. So if you don't enjoy this stuff, don't worry about it too much. Tomorrow, I should be putting up my next How to Train Your Blank video. How to Train Your Pokemon. I don't know how to refer to the series as, but basically I'm going to be showing you guys the Pokemon that you voted on in the last episode. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.